Welcome to Chopper's Charts. This is the final one of this series of backtesting styles. This particular backtesting style, I'm just going to call it practice back style. I kind of refer to it as my driving range. This is, I know how to play golf, I know how to swing the club, I know how to hit the ball, but I like to go to the practice range and practice it. Feel that swings, feel all the little intricacies and all those things, and just get better at it. Get it to where it's more to a point where I'm not having to think as much when I'm on the course about how to swing the club. So this is my driving range. This would be the kind of back testing I would say I'm going to take. It's going to be it's my final stage and ongoing for life. As long as I'm trading, this is my back testing. This is where I go to continue to see and understand my trading system strategy in different markets. Now I want to hop around. I want to go different years. I want to try different markets. And I just want to get used to this. This is going to be repetitious and stuff. So if you're coming into this practice style of back testing, final stage, ongoing, your strategy is complete. You have a system. You know what your rules are. You know what you know what your setup is. You know how you're drawing your support levels or your breaker structure, or however you put your strategy together. So many different ways, I can't even think of them all the time. So you have it set. It's set. You know it. You don't need to watch any more videos. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need to add anything else to it. You just now need to practice it. And this is continuing the practice of these rules, of your strategy. So no more fine tuning, no more changing your rules, your strategy rules. You have your base strategy down. You will learn to see your strategy better. Okay, this is the process of what this is. This is you just building it up and practicing it. This is your practice zone. You want to practice in the good years, the choppy years, the down years. Just start hopping around different years and see how your edge, how your strategy's working in all these things. And I'll get into it in a bit, but these different years, like if you get into these choppy years, 2022 is a choppy year. You get into there and you can say, oh wow, I need to maybe hone this down a little bit better. Hone down, what does my setup look like? What does this look like? Things like that. And I'll get into that because it's happening to me right now. You want to learn how to identify and trade your edge. You want to know better and better what it is you're doing, your steps, your 1, 2, 3 trade, 1, 2, 3 trade, 4, 5 get out. You want to know that, and you want to practice that, and you want to see that, and you want to repeat that and repeat that and repeat that. As always, I like a little golf analogy. I know how to swing my driver, and I'm going to go to the driving range and focus intently on the key points of swinging that driver. I'm not changing the swing. I'm not trying to hit it further. I'm not trying to do anything. Maybe just get to that feel so that feel is consistent, that feel I know it, so that when I'm out on the golf course, a couple practice swings, I know exactly what I need to do. Because I practice it at the driving range. And I know exactly what I'm needing. Not changing, but more intently feeling and knowing it. This also there's a benefit of this. This is like increasing your time in the charts. You're learning, you're growing as a trader. There's nothing better than time in the charts. The more time you're in the charts actually trading your strategy. So all these other types of systems, these back testing systems I have, none of them, although they're giving you some time in the markets, it's not a focused time, because you didn't have a strategy. You were playing around, you were learning, you built a base, you built a strategy, you proved the strategy, and then you went and started fine tuning it and making sure that it's 100% where you want it before you got to this point. So now you don't have to think about learning more or trying more or changing things. You're done with that, and you're just now taking your system, your strategy, and just simply focusing on that over and over and over and over and over and over again. Intentional practice, and that's what this is going to be about. It's still intentional. You don't want to just hop in here and run through it and see if you can get the bigger PL or whatever. It's still systematic. It's still think about it. A good example is when I'm swinging a club, I might pull it back, feel the wrist cock, kind of might just pull part way, feel the move coming down, swing through it, take a couple practice swings, then hit a ball. Same thing. You're just kind of like, you want to be very intentional about it. This type of practice is going to prepare you for the live market decisions. When you're looking at a live market and you're getting ready to trade, and you're going to start reacting instant. It's just going to be, there it is, there it is, there it is. Because you've practiced it so many times that you're gonna know, and you're gonna know when you're pushing yourself. You're gonna know when you're like, that's really not it. And if you take the trade, at least okay, I pushed it. I shouldn't have done that. But you're gonna see those things better, which helps you start focusing on the emotional part of trading. It's going to help you dial in all those little emotional triggers you're having that are causing you to not trade per your strategy. Because there's no more learning, there's no more adding, there's no more tweaking. It's just this. When you're tired or mentally not at 100%, your practice can kind of take over. So a day where you didn't get enough sleep or something, you're coming into the markets and you're tired, you had a long day at work and you're stressed out, and you're going to go trade, but your brain's just not 100%. This regular practice is going to kick in. And it's going to be like driving home in worse than normal traffic. It might take a little bit of attention, but you're going to do it. You just drive. You know how to do it. You've done it so many times. One of my best scenarios is you're driving and you got a major storm. It's raining cats and dogs. It's just worse than you've ever had. You're gripping your wheels a little tighter. The wind's blowing. You're paying a little bit more attention, but everything else is still driving. It's still just driving. Half of everything you're doing, you already just know subconsciously. You're just now paying a little bit closer attention. Trading becomes as easy as driving a car, even in a storm. And that's the key. Your goal here is to continue that practice in multiple markets, multiple times, and over and over and over and over again, to where it's just almost subconsciously done. How does this work? You want to set up a session, and I suggest, even if you're in a smaller time frame, lower time frame, you just do 1 year slots. Okay, so if you trade, let's say you trade two instruments. Let's say you trade gold and you trade an indice. Do a 1 year slot. I don't care if you trade the 5 minute or 1 minute or 4 hour, whatever time frame you trade. Just do a 1 year slot. Go through that whole year. This is ongoing. This is back testing practice forever. So it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get through it. If you have two instruments and you're trading the 5 minute or lower time frame, maybe you take both those instruments and you create a session for both of them. Not both in the same session, but an individual one for the indice and an individual one for the gold, and you do 2022 for the indice, and maybe you do 2023 for gold. And then you can do a month for the indice, and you can go back and you can do a month in your gold. So you can kind of go back and forth and keep those sessions going, but you can just do that way. You're learning both at the same time. You can go back and forth. Just a thought. I do one session. I do the hourly time frame. I get about 50 trades a year on mine or less, and so I just do one instrument, and then I'll do the next instrument on the same year. So that's setting up your session. Don't choose a strategy. When you're setting up a session, I can show you here. When you create a session, I like to name it by the, like this would be MGC 2022. Not too many twos. You can put a description if you want. I don't, but I don't choose a strategy. I don't. I want to have. I'm using all my strategies. I got 3 strategies. I want all 3 of them on there. Symbol. That's going to be MGC. And then the date is going to be 2022, January 1st to 2022, December 31st. And then I always do 20K. That's my base. And I currently like to do just one contract. I could see doing 2 contracts later. Right now, I'm trying to get a consistency with my trading, so I just want one contract. And so then you develop your trading session. I want to go back to the MYM because it's already got trades going. It's all 100% set up for me, and so that's setting it up. And like I said, you can set up if you've got if you're 10-minute time frame or 5-minute time frame or 1-minute time frame. And you got a couple of instruments, just set them both up, and then like I said, you can go a month and a month, and through a month or through whatever. Maybe you can do one every other day, but yeah, that's it. Intention and focus is key on this. You're not just punching through trades. Your goal is to look left. Your goal is to see the structure. Your goal is to learn the market behavior. Your goal is to read candles. Your goal is to understand your rules and your setups and your entry triggers. Your goal is to see the bigger picture, to take your time, to slow down, to pause, look left. This can be a focus on a single contract, small size, to see scalability. So that's one of the reasons why I do a single contract. I'm setting a take profit. I have a take profit that I see gets hit a lot. Per instrument, it's different. a loss and a take profit, a loss and a take profit. And so I do this because I want something at one contract that's scalable. If I can hit this regularly for MYM 150 stop, 450 take profit dollars. I can hit this pretty regularly, trailing, and so if I don't hit it, I'm usually in profit. So you can see I don't always hit the 450. I hit it once, but I hit a lot of in betweens, which means my stops will also be smaller too. So that's the highest stop I've had so far is 111. So and they're all starting at 150. So it kind of gives you an idea. I'm trying to create something that I know I can scale. So if I can do that, let's say that works at one contract. When I'm ready to move up in my real trading, getting to 10 times that, it's the same trade. It's still the same trade. I'm not changing the trade at all. I'm just adding more contracts. I'm just scaling in. It can be added, up 10 times, upwards of 100 times. So very scalable, something I can see hitting regularly. Over time, I plan on taking this to where I got 2 contracts, so that some of these scenarios might change. I might scale out one contract earlier and then let the second one run. So that'll be a little different. I will probably go back and do a session in the learning phase to kind of get a feel for what I'm wanting, and maybe go through it pretty quick with each instrument, and then go back to this and utilize that so that I can see it. But for right now, where I'm at in my trading, I just want to see that market structure. I want to see my system over and over and over. For this year, it's the rest of this year, that's all it is for me. It's just me trading my system in this for one contract and getting something repeatable, super repeatable. I'm hoping to make this better than I drive. Although I know many times I'm like, I get in the car and I think, oh, I need to go to the store on my way home, and then next thing I know, I'm in my driveway going, oh shoot, I forgot to go to the store. It's kind of how I want my trading to be, just so subconscious that I don't allow side thoughts. My suggestions when you're doing this is to spend at least an hour a day, few days a week in this while you're live trading or paper trading. This, if you're a lower time frame trader and you have a 4-hour window for trading, give yourself a couple hours, an hour or two to trade, to back test too. I always like watching pro golf game. The pros come out, they go to the driving range to warm up. That's kind of us looking at the market, setting our goals, looking at the charts and saying, okay, this is what I'm seeing happen. Then they play the game, and then they go to the driving range after the game. They're going to the driving range because there was just something that fell off, or they just want to confirm that things are working right, and they'll practice and they work on it. So the best time is after a day of trading. Hit this. Maybe hit it. It's according to how your day's structured. It doesn't matter. Just try to get to it. And I would say an hour a day. That's not very much time to practice something that's going to make you better in the long run. I would suggest that this trading, this back testing, be done more than watching YouTube videos. So what I like to do is I'll set this up. I'll put a psychology, or I'll put a YouTube interview of a trader or something like that on, and I'll listen to that while I'm back testing. I don't want to watch YouTube videos on technique. I don't need to add anything more to my technique. I am almost completely avoiding technique videos anymore. There are some that catch my eyes. I'll start watching them, and then I start going, why am I watching this? I don't need to watch it. I'm not changing anything. I have my system. I'm building my belief in my system. You don't want to look at other techniques. You should be done with that. Adding to it is just going to completely change your learning curve and completely change everything you've been building. Start identifying the emotional struggle from your live trading. So if you're getting in too early, you're impatient entries, recognize that. Take that one little thing and start applying it and say, okay, what can I do to help myself not jump in too early, and start focusing on that. And you can do that in your back testing, and you can just repeatedly see your winning trades. Go back and look at the screenshots. Go back and look at the notes of your back testing, and study them and say, look, this is it. And just build that confidence, build that familiarity, and build that whole setup image in your head with your back testing and your screenshots. One of the things I love doing is coming back here, and let's go do. I'll come here and I want to see. Okay, this is MGC in 2025. 3 trades, 4 trades, 2 trades, 4 trades. So this is telling me how many trades I should have a month with just this one instrument. This is one instrument, one contract with a take profit, and I can see what I'm looking for in my quantity of trades. And I love seeing that. I love seeing, okay, 3 trades. So if I'm back testing, I should have anywhere from 0 to 7 trades. So let's just say 8. So that's going to be 1 to 2 a week, maybe. 0 to 2 trades per week, maybe. Because most of these are lower than that. So I love seeing that. I love seeing how that works. I like seeing what reality is, because that's reality. Because that's me being intentional. That's me being focused and trading the way I want to constantly be seeing my trades. So many different things. You can tag things. I definitely suggest tagging everything exactly like you do your live trading. Use your live trading tags for this. That way you can come back and you can go and look at your reports, your tags, and this will give you all your back testing tags results, and you can start you're going to be able to say quicker that, oh, you know what, I need to eliminate this one. Like this particular tag isn't working. I need to get rid of it. It's not working in back testing, and I don't want to continue that in live trading anymore. So always good to see those things. And that's what you're going to get out of it. This is going to be your real, because you're not learning, you're not tweaking, you're not adding things, you're not adjusting things, you're not doing anything more but seeing. You're tightening your setup criteria. You're just tightening up your strategy rules tighter to get them to finding that point from a good trade to a best trade, and just ignoring everything else. You want to get that good trade to the best trade. And what is that parameter? Because even though we've got rules and we got a strategy and we got plan and we got a setup protocol, we fudge it. It's just natural. It's because the market is so variable, so kind of slightly different every single trade, that we have a tendency to see a lot of gray. And so what we're trying to do is just narrow that gray down and get it a little bit more black and white. It's still always gray, but just trying to get a little more black and white. That's it. That's practicing style of backtesting. Once if you're in my Discord and you finished your 4-phase backtesting system, you should have a strategy. You should have a set of rules. You should know what you're doing and what you want to trade. This is where you come. This is where your continuing backtesting comes to. This is going to give you one more trade closer to wealthy trading. It's going to build. It's going to take years off of your trading journey, because you're spending time in the charts on one system, on your strategy, on your method, and not adding, taking away, and changing things. Because every time you change something, every time you change your support resistance levels, or your RSIs, or your break a structure, or your change a structure or character, or anytime you tweak those, you've created a whole new learning curve. And it's time. This is the point where you have the only learning curve you have now is just to be consistently seeing your strategy. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you.